We're reading from the book, Engaged to be Married, the romance novel, Chapter 19, Travelogue, June 6th. The next morning, Charles slowly rouses. Dreams had plagued his mind throughout the night, but they seemed so real. In a moment of sincere compassion and suppressed desire, he has slept next to Emily all night. Afraid to open his eyes, afraid of her scornful attitude towards his personal behavior, Charles tries to play like he is still sleeping. But he knows he must face the music eventually. He awakes fully to realize those dreams might not be as fanatical as the reality he finds himself in. He sits up then and looks around only to discover that she is not in their hotel room. He jumps up out of bed and notices Emily's suitcase is gone and all of her clothes are missing. He cannot believe that she's done it to him again. Charles remembers an earlier conversation. He counts the cash in his wallet. Exactly $100 is missing. He squints in the dim light of the hotel room. Then he gets a glimpse of a note paper positioned upright on the dresser that wasn't there the night before. Emily had thought enough at least to write a scribbled note on a game score sheet. Hurriedly, he puts in his contacts and sits down on the edge of the bed to read it. Charlie, old man, it's been great fun, and you were very sweet to spend your free time with me. But I can't ask this of you or your lady. Besides, you and I both know that I would never actually tell you any of my sad problem. When I woke up and saw you next to me, I knew I had to end our vacay. I mean, that was so sweet, but it was too sweet and tempting, actually. Charlie, I want you to know that I will never forget you, and I do mean for forever. So I'm releasing you from any further vacation obligations. If you knew the reason why, then you would certainly understand why it is that I have decided to skip out on you. But it really is for the best that you don't know. It's even better that you don't understand anything. Trust me, the mystery is so much better. My kindness, my one kindness, I'm able to return for your kindness towards me, is to spare you this. Much easier that way for both of us, actually. And I just might be more selfish than you after all. All my love, and I do mean forever, and don't I wish, M. Oh, P.S. I never had the privilege of saying all my love before. Not to any guy before. So thanks for that, Charlie. Thanks for fulfilling another wish of mine. Charles holds up the note and shakes it in the air. No. Why won't you spend the rest of this time with me? What day is this? What day? He reaches for his cell and checks the calendar. Day 17. Of course you would leave me on the day you were supposed to confess all to me. He gets dressed as fast as he is able, not taking time to shave or even comb his hair. He throws everything in his suitcase, not caring that his expensive new clothes are getting more wrinkled by the minute. Charles does not take the time to reread her note. He just folds it and places it in his shirt pocket. This may be all that he has left to remind himself of their time together. He looks at his cell. 6 a.m. Emily can't have been up very long. She couldn't have gone far. So you always keep your word, huh, Em? Girl, am I ever going to call you on this one? Dear God, let me find her. Charles races out of the room into the hall. He asks anyone and everyone if they've seen his girlfriend, not even realizing what he said. The front desk clerk hasn't seen her either. There are plenty of places that a girl could hide in that section of the city and slip into any storefront cafe. He remembers that they had taken pictures together. Emily is one clever girl, and she will try to outthink him, he knows. She has to know that Charles would try to find her. Over an hour of searching, and Charles feels defeated. He sits at a cafe feeling quite helpless in his search for an apparently very ill friend. Think, man, think. What's Emily going to do next? Charles looks upward. A little mercy here, please, for Emily's sake. I know that I don't deserve it. I've been a jerk. But please, I can't lose her, and she needs me, doesn't she? Charles shudders, comprehending his meager prayer was more for his own sake after all. But he feels he needs to make it right. Though he doesn't need it on this warm day, he had to put on his jacket as he headed out the door. Thinking to pull out the note and reread it for clues, Charles reaches into the pocket and pulls out his return ticket to Reno, and it dawns on him, Emily's ticket is missing. Emily had really enjoyed their time in Reno, though it was cold. She wanted to stay there. Charles rereads her note to him, though nothing in there gives him any real signs. He's not angry with her. On the contrary, he hails a cab and takes him to the Amtrak station. He so wishes that he had allowed Emily to put a picture on his cell phone for several reasons. But he does have some snapshots. With each passing second, and with fearing that he may see not see Emily again, Charles has to admit that he has fallen in love with her in a big way. At the station, he asks all around, "Have you seen a pencil of a girl? Cute as can be, very thin, very short hairdo. No one seems to care or have any information." He's acting like a frantic man. 2 older women are there, and he asks them, "Did you see a sickly, thin young woman come in here?" The women ignore him. He persists. "She's not well. She's about 21 or so. She's very thin, looks much younger." Still, the woman ignores Charles. His first thought is to rudely shake her out of her apathy. He moves on past her to others and doesn't touch the woman. Charles goes up to the digital board that posts the routes. He looks for the scheduled departures for Reno. Several departures time appear there. Which one would she choose? An idea strikes him to narrow down the possibilities. He asks at the ticket counter, "Can you please scan your records to see if a woman exchanged her departure ticket that was possibly headed to Reno? Name?" The male clerk's voice is monotone. "Emily Robertson." He's thankful that she had finally divulged at least that much information. "Oh, here it is. Emily Robertson, Reno." "Yeah, but she didn't cash it in." "Okay, didn't ask that. She traded it in for an earlier time slot." Charlie feels he's lost her. "You're not making this easy for me, man, are you?" "Hey, I looked it up for you, mister." The clerk doesn't understand that what he was referring to. Charles gets it. "No, I meant, oh, never mind." He leans against the counter, head down. "Has that train left yet?" The clerk clicks away on his computer keys. "Let's see. What do you know? The train is ready to leave the station just now." Charles perks up and glances around the terminal. "Hurry, man. Where do I go?" "That way, east, then out onto the deck. If you're fast, you might make it." The clerk points in the basic direction of the sliding doors. Charles starts walking backwards, but asks the clerk one last question. "How much time do I have?" The busy clerk has cleared the computer screen with one touch of a key. He seems to take forever to look it back up again. Charles is forced to wait. Others pass by in front of him. He's desperate and pushes one guy out of the way. "Don't you understand? I've got to find her." The clerk looks up, panicked. He quickly addresses the keyboard. The keys click away. Charles feels so stupid. He's kicking himself. This was the first question he should have asked after all. Charles about loses it, waiting for the slow clerk. "Could you please hurry?" "Let me see here." The young fellow looks up at the clock in the wall behind him. In his head, he slowly does the math. "You have about 2 minutes if the train departs on time." "Let's hope it doesn't." Charles races off through the exit doors. He races down the platform, nearly knocking over luggage and people, but he doesn't care. He's lost all sense of decorum now. Reaching Emily is paramount in his mind. Charles can hardly believe what he sees. Way up the platform, there Emily sits, her head bent low and cupped in her hands. She happens to glance that way and sees him coming toward her. Emily can only hope he hasn't zeroed in on her as he pushes his way through the crowd of people. She knows the train is about to depart, and she should have been on it already, but she's just so tired, having walked up there from the hotel. She needed to save the money that she took from Charlie, and it's taken her much longer to get up and get moving than she ever intended. She tries her best to hide in between the small crowd of travelers boarding the train. Charles continues pushing his way towards her. She peeks out from the group of travelers. He has kept her in view and is hurriedly making his way towards her. Emily tries to run but gets dizzy, stumbles and falls to the deck on the ramp. A group of folks stand around not knowing what to do for her. They are mumbling to themselves. Amongst themselves, Charles rushes over and helps her up. Emily is very weak, and Charles has to physically carry her over to a bench. A man walks up and asks if they need him to call 911 for them. It's nice of him, but Emily protests, shaking her head, and then cries out, moaning while holding her head. "Oh no, not another hospital, please." The fellow speaks with his traveling companion. "Yeah, I should go ahead and call 911, shouldn't I? That girl's in a lot of pain. She might be delirious even." Charles holds up one arm, waving the man away. "The lady said no. I'll handle it from here. Thank you anyway." He doesn't want Emily to get even more agitated, fearing she might try to run off again, if possible. Her eyes plead more than her words. "Please, no more doctors, no more hospitals, Charles." He covers for Emily. "Okay, Em, whatever you say." "Thanks." The light hurts her eyes and she buries her face in his chest. He addressed the small crowd. "Listen, she's really okay. I'm her husband. She's just really tired." She looks up, one eye still closed. "What are you saying?" He whispers, "It's okay, Em, I got this." The well-meaning bystander continues. "Are you sure?" "I'm sure. I've got this. We've got this. Nothing to see here. Go away. Thanks, anyway." Emily whispers to Charles there. "Yep, you've caught the good-ass Samaritan syndrome. It's becoming an epidemic, even with that guy." Charles smiles at her. "GASS, right." She mouths another thank you and limply rests in his arms. The people gathered around begin to disperse then. He's glad that they've moved on with their agendas. Charles can only think of one place to take her. "Back to the hotel, Em?" "Yes, please." She clings to Charles as he carries her away from the crowd. They sit at a bench for a few minutes more. The station ramp is all but vacant. Charles remembers their first meeting on a bench at a train station. He smiles, recalling her boldness. He couldn't have known then just how bravely she really is. Pills get dispensed to Emily and some cool water. After a few minutes, she's nearly herself again. Here, she hands off her ticket. "I won't be needing this after all, I guess." "I was planning on chewing you out about this big time," Charles concedes. "But now I'm just thankful that you're okay and that I found you." "I've wasted all your ticket money, Charlie." "It doesn't matter. It provided the main clue I needed. That's all that matters." "And I am a criminal. Here's your money." "Well, thanks. Are you feeling better?" "Yes," she chirps weakly. "Let's go dancing." He laughs, but knows she's not up for too much. Charles wonders if she will ever be. In less than 3 weeks, he has observed her physical condition rapidly deteriorate. Charles still intends to see his promise through to the end. "Listen, Em, everything is still on. I fully intend to keep my word to you, even if you're not up to working off that wish list. I like board games. We'll just do that kind of thing." "You're too nice to me, Charlie." She's thankful that Charles can't bring himself to yell at her. Emily senses that for them, it's all downhill from here. Charles wants nothing more than to stay by her side for as long as he possibly can, although now he is becoming really concerned and knows he needs to learn at least something about her condition to keep her safe. Not knowing would not be better for both of them, as Emily had insisted in her note. He is certain of that. Charles has no choice but to watch for warning signs of continued weakness or even a more serious event that might be a reason to take her to a doctor despite agreeing to her wish of no medical observation or interventions. And there is that other very personal matter that Emily alluded to in her letter. Charles is determined to get to the bottom of that comment as well. That is the end of chapter 19 of the romance novel Engaged to be Married.